Hello. Currently pulled up something a little different than expected. The Antarctica, but it caught my eye and thought I'd just take a look. This is a pretty significant fire that's currently burning in New South Wales. It's currently out of control, trying to be maintained, but there's a lot of smoke that comes out of this bush play. It's all smoke trails. And then you have this ripping, roaring fire that's just sending tons of smoke and particulates south. You can see it exploding. My hand did not show up well. Okay. So just currently looking at ice conditions, the ice conditions of and around Antarctica, leading up to the volcano known as Mount Erebus. Is one of the tallest peaks in Antarctica. See a lot of crunching, a lot of line breaking. Everything's frozen in place. Those are like sheets keep trying to recover though. I'm just currently looking here. A lot of ice, sea ice and snow loss. North Korea fires ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan, second one of the night. Now, Mount Erebus, down here, we have New Zealand, taking extreme south. A lot of exposed continent of Antarctica. A lot of snow and land moving around, a lot of frozen land being exposed very overly. Another volcano north of McMurdo Station. There's the summit. Now for Google Earth, we're going to go to Mount Erebus. You can see the two blasts at the summit. And that is exactly what we're seeing right here. This is the blast crater from previous eruptions. Lava always find the path of least resistance. Right about there, I imagine. Although no sign of lava. Probably a lot of steam. A lot of ice melt on the sides of the actual volcano itself we're seeing here. Let's take a look at it. Play. No visible eruption detected. False color. Moisture index. Whoa. There's definitely a crazy amount of heat emanating at the top summit of Mount Erebus. Yeah, wow. It's alive, it's awake. A strange anomaly on the 9th frame, on the 11th. This just looks like a lot of heat emanating. I don't think it's actual lava at the summit. It's seeing something though. Anybody ever think how birds could probably see a volcanic eruption happening before it happens, based on the light show they're going to be exposed to? We don't see that. This volcano's, oh, this is the northeastern flank of the volcano. I think it's massive. This volcano is truly massive. Oop. We got a freshwater source right here. That's concerning. One like this, meeting up in this puddle. Ventures out for its forked here. This is a bad bleeding sign. This looks like a bleed. Looks like this should not be here. The time lapse of it. Should not be that way. Must have. You can see it moving all the way. Wow. You uncheck the ones that are in the way. You can see this water making a trail heading east. It's going to cause catastrophe. You get all this water that just slices through all this ice. It's not going to go well. You're going to have this long trail of snow that's slowly melting Eventually getting to the point where it finally reaches the bottom of its path and it just starts melting the snow that it landed on top of, leaked on top of, followed by wind, air moving, the water on the frozen surface, moving it around. With simple physics like this, you can still have a warmer water warming an area of ice that is far colder than the melted snow or melted ice is going to become. We can see this. This is an indicator of a greater failure, because what we see on the surface of Antarctica, for it to emanate like this, has to have a catastrophic failure within the ice. Catastrophic warming like this can only happen due to very freakish temperatures, fluctuations, and climate change. Just tilt of the plan of the axis, suddenly a summer that we didn't plan for is hitting Antarctica and warming it up. Reality is like that. This is a lot of action. This is a lot of fresh water. Antarctica is home to the greatest reservoir freshwater collection. All the fresh water melting out, just seeping down this extremely long valley into, which probably collided or crashed into right here. This just barreling down big pieces of ice, getting whipped up right here. And then you get this fork at the end where it's split in two places. So what will happen, you'll get a lot of this ice get cut through with this warming weather, this warming water. And that can do a few things. That can start a chain reaction of ice melt in areas that probably haven't seen too much ice melt before. And snow melt as well. Snow is very important. More layers of snow on top of all this ice, the better. You don't want just the bare ice to try to survive in the broad daylight. Even if the sunlight is only a little bit at a time. What? These islands look bare. Let's do a time lapse of it. Exposed glacial lakes. You get glacial lake flooding, glacial lake outburst. Glacial lake flooding is when you have all this water that meets other bodies of water over channels and ditches and canals that are naturally made over time, but slowly, not quickly, as we're seeing. This is a huge amount of exposed land. I mean, it's just seems to keep being more exposed the more I go around. We shouldn't be seeing this much of Antarctica's continent. Canada Glacier, Commonwealth Glacier. There's glaciers all around here and we can't lose them. not many glaciers left in the world. Some glaciers were part of volcanoes, like Mount Popocatépetl, Mexico. This is really bad. Like, I don't know how anybody could look at this and say this is normal. We have 100 years data on Antarctica. That's not enough. No, we have tons of information, tons of data on Antarctica. This is looking extreme swings of melt. I don't know if this is permanent or not, but you can't have this widespread heat wave happening on Antarctica, warming the stone, warming the ground. Instead of trying to get through the snow, trying to get through and get reflected, you're getting a lot of sun that's absorbed into the continent of Antarctica, warming it up all over places, because that warmth travels through water, through ice, that warmth travels through rock, stone, basalt. All of these elements meeting together, you're going to have cracks, but not miles and miles stretches of land that are completely exposed to the point that you could probably drive a car on it. Not that you probably would, because you don't know how fragile this land is. It just could collapse under you. This is not something that we should be seeing or should be able to see. This is all near the volcano Mount Erebus, so Mount Erebus being active I don't think would cause all of this by itself. This is greater amounts of change than that volcano could have possibly caused on its own. Just keep seeing more and more in this eye right here. Looks like it has some crown. Looks like, you see how tall? 384 meters? I'm not saying I'm guessing. That's a hell of a shadow. Antarctica is also home to some of the greatest peaks in the world. Some of the largest lakes, some of the largest freshwater lakes, largest freshwater reserves. Let's look a little more in detail. Yeah, this is bad. Oh my god. I mean, not much else to say. Antarctica is experiencing a warming period that I don't think we've seen before, because if we did, I don't remember ever being exposed to so much ground, floor of Antarctica. That's all happening right here. Right here. Just, it looks so pitiful. It looks like there's not much left. See huge fragments of ice and dozens, if not hundreds, of smaller icebergs. We call them icebergs because they're kind of stuck in this frozen water. These giant plates. These ice shelves here. Let's take a look at this. Massive concaving. Okay, here's the volcano. Sitting here like this. Let's go back a whole year. Only 27 frames for an entire year. Ones are here. Nothing too dramatic. You can see some melt on the flanks. And down the sides of the volcano. Like that. Go back over here. See, this is all that stone that we're seeing. All these flows that are happening. Lakes. A lot of bare rock that's being heated up by the sun. Okay, that's all I have for Mount Erebus. And I'll probably return the sea ice conditions again soon whenever we get more recent satellite imagery. Take care of yourself.